The lead actor carries the film. It has a very strong score and a story that is reminiscent of the lamplighter in The Little Prince. A man still doing his job, even though it no longer makes sense to do so, because the world has changed.
I thought this was like a really fun, like short, like fantasy, post-apocalyptic, kind of a little bizarre film. Parts of it reminded me of like Quentin Tarantino type style, with the fight scenes at least, and his kind of just like the obscurity of having like a sushi truck, or like obviously they were trying to like get across that this is post society, like you're out in the middle of nowhere, you know, roll up with like the van, like the cars and everything like that. There's nothing out there. He's saying that he has work to do, and he's like making sushi. I thought that was really interesting. I really liked how they overlaid his like the fight scenes with like all in the dark with the what looks like snow falling, and him making sushi while he's talking to the kid. I really liked how they did that, like the precision of him making the sushi, and like the delicacy that he used when not only like telling the story that he was telling, but making like something like sushi. I thought it was really interesting. I was super intrigued by it.
This film was very intriguing. I really like the recessing water going backwards, and that was done several times. So with the pattern, you see that there's a symbolism going on there. It was a little hard to follow at times, but I think that's what was keeping the mystery going, where it made it very unpredictable. And acting was very good, cinematography excellent, and the ending was just, it felt right, even though it didn't make sense. And I enjoyed this very much. Overall, was very well done in all aspects.
This short was a paragon of virtue for me. Imagery was very life and death, especially when it came to the pattern between the deceased and the sushi. I thought that was clever. Good transition. And the analogy between the priest and the boy, and then Mr. Sushi and the boy, was quite significant. It was a great short, all in all.
Direction, the scripting, I thought was really well thought and executed, particularly as it pertained to excellence in every minute detail. From the chopping of the fish, to the rolling of the sushi, to the presentation of the sushi to the boy, and sort of that philosophy of each day becoming better and better and better at your craft till you get to mastery. The cinematography, the direction, the editing was superb.
I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I thought the story was interesting, the direction was great, the cinematography was fantastic, even the choreography was a lot of fun, and the subtle use of CG, I think, really lent itself to the style and tone of the film. It was just really great. I enjoyed it.
I think the most gorgeously shot so far. The story was great. It felt like a feature that was compressed down to about 15 minutes, which is very nice for, I think, what the filmmaker was going out for. The protagonist, just excellent. They killed their part. The final battle was choreographed really well. It was super interesting. And that final shot that's between, I guess not the final shot, but that shot in the final showdown between the like evil boss and the protagonist, with the sunset in the backdrop, that was lovely.
Straight out of the gate, a wonderful performance by David Shee. His face just embodies that masterless samurai. I thought that the cinematography was sheerly magnificent, supplied by James Kwan, and the overall sound design was very impressive. It really kept the thematics very engaging and the storyline moving. It reminded me a lot, and I'm sure that this is no coincidence, it reminded me a lot of Kill Bill, not just because of the setting and the swordplay, but just the overall beauty of the film. It is filled with a lot of poignant thought and a lot of hot action. I think people will like it.
I liked this one because they could perform in a very desertic scenario, but it was vibrant and powerful. I love the food court, the mercenaries. The fighting sequences were amazing. I really liked the wisdom behind it, with the spirit of an age, and also the quote about the god being a master. And I loved the sunset. It was very enjoyable.